showcase put together here with me and Dustin Ellringer, who will be on after me. Again, we do geek jokes and perform basically at different conventions throughout the land. So if you want to see us at a convention near you, please recommend us as entertainers, and hopefully we can get more than just a panel slot. So that's my little spiel at the beginning. So, what's up? Mike went dead. Oh, that's a good start. There it goes.
Hey!
This one good? Let's try this one. This one makes you sound sexy. Ooh. Alright, so hey, cosplayers here tonight. Alright, so in addition to being a comedian, I'm also a cosplayer. And for those who don't know, cosplay is a contraction. It stands for costumed role play. So let's break that down to the two different words. First up, you've got the costume. And this costume can be made by you or someone else, whether it's a friend, family member, small child overseas. Doesn't matter, it's ready as long in time for the con. So I do dark humor, so that's a little taste here. Dark humor and feel. If that's what you're here for, it's going to be a good show. So moving on. The only requirement for that is it has to be from something. This could be a TV show, a video game, a dank meme, whatever it is, and that's something that's called the fandom. And I like the many categories on myfreewaifus.com. There's a fandom for everything. And so some cosplayers go for extra credit by combining fandoms. But for extra credit, try combining competing fandoms. Like Star Wars and Star Trek. Or Boba Ferengi. He always gets paid. Or for group cosplay, you can do Harry Potter and Game of Thrones combined. You know, got the four main houses, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Lannister. They always pay. Or Disney and hentai. You know, like Tangled, but with tentacles. I pay for that. Hey! So part two about cosplay is the role-playing as that character. And not everyone role-plays. There are cosplayers and there's costumers. A costumer wears the costumes themselves, but usually for contests or photo shoots for Instagram. And a cosplayer also speaks and acts as that character, often in crowded hallways or video shoots for Patreon. That joke's gonna keep coming back. All right. So the intensity of the roleplay varies based on personal comfort, but you also need to abide by social and legal limits. And to learn what those limits are, ask any Deadpool cosplayer. Or Dr. Disrespect.
18 plus, right?
But you won't know until someone's role-playing until you really interact with them. But there's a few signs you can look for. First, if they approach you while clearly speaking in character, or if they're in a group acting out a scene with other characters, or if they hand you a business card and tell you about their specials on Patreon. Hi, welcome. Here for the comedy?
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep under here.
Yeah.
I'm here to get some funny stuff.
So you're just in time for the next joke. I'm just take this opportunity to have a little sip of water here. Way over here on our scuff table.
Very nice.
Back to jokes. Okay, so I did my first cosplay in the spring of my freshman year of high school. This was way back in the late 90s. There was no Facebook groups or cosplay in your area. Our only online resource were custom-made Yahoo chat rooms.
Oh, no.
And the way you look for these rooms, you put in your interest keywords. So I put in fantasy and role-playing. There are a lot of rooms. Like a lot. They had a thing for the wizard class. They kept talking about their D6s and D8s. Give it a second. Hey, they didn't do the talking. I was in that line sometimes. But anyway. So instead you had to go to your local fabric stores and just kind of ask for help. And again, this was in the spring. It's nowhere close to Halloween. And as a teen, I was embarrassed enough to say what I was doing. You know, kids at school made fun of me enough. I didn't need the little old lady at Joanne Fabrics to join in. So I thought the best thing to do was just kind of casually ask where the fake leather was. She's like, oh, for furniture? Like, no, I'm making something to wear. She's like, oh, do you have a motorcycle? I'm not that cool. No. Then she leaned in, smiled a bit. Is this for prom night? Yeah, plot twist. So for what started out as not wanting wanting to be embarrassed by having a conversation about my nerd hobby, turned into a public conversation about underage BDSM. So at that point, I noped out of the conversation because it was only getting worse if I tried to explain it was for a role-playing game involving dungeons. But over the years, I've developed a process for making a great costume. And first, you want to create a list of your favorite fandoms in the con's theme. And it should be from your own fandoms that you're passionate about, or it's only going to go downhill. I mean, like starting con drinking at noon downhill.
Hey, yeah.
Or mansplaining at a feminist panel downhill. Or accidentally hitting on an underage cosplayer downhill.
No! Abort, abort.
So, cosplayers usually have one costume, at least for each day of the convention. So weekend cons for 3 days, so you bring 3 costumes. And here for Daisho Con, we have one for anime, one for gaming, and the emergency spare to change into after accidentally hitting on an underage cosplayer. So once you have this list, you want to hop online and search for inspiration. And so I save these ideas to different folders. I've got one for costumes, one for props, and one for Rule 34 to use later.
Hey.
Google it. So in making a costume, especially during the con crunch, you want to highlight your strengths and hide your weaknesses. Kind of like being on a first date or a drunken con hookup.
Yeah.
Yep. But all costume ideas have the 3 main limitations of finances, time, and skill. So the first limitation we have is finances, how much you're willing and able to pay. And this can be a straightforward cash transaction, or you can do a trade or barter. But it has to be for equally valued goods or services, like a Charizard for a Blue Eyes White Dragon, or your waifu for a trash can. Again, equal value. But it's never okay to offer to pay in social media exposure. Exposure is not a legal tender. It's a cause of death.
Hey.
This also goes for booking shoots with photographers. They are artists who deserve to be paid for their talents. Yes, absolutely. Yes, for photographers. I mean, unless they only work with young women and insist they come alone to the shoot, then definitely expose them on social media. So if you have the money, you can commission a costume. There's nothing wrong with that. But I usually end up spending most of my money at the con at the dealer's room. And when it comes to these vendors, I use the casino method, where I bring in only a set amount of cash that I'm willing to lose. Because you never know when you're going to pull a Pokemon and just white out. Like, I don't know what happened. I just woke up next to this shirtless Kylo Ren body pillow and half my money gone. Hashtag worth. So in that case, you'll turn to a place that many of us spent our youth. The closet. Closet cosplay is taking everyday clothing items and reusing them to create a costume. And the key to this is resourcefulness in using available materials. And I think that video games are great at teaching us this skill. They teach us that anything found inside unlocked chests or in smashed pots are completely fair game to go into your personal inventory. Which is why I'm banned from Pottery Barn. As well as Crate and Barrel. And my local Jewish temple. Yeah, spoiler, it's nothing like the water temple at all. So the second cosplay, making a great costume, is time. Now, ideally, you want a stress-free, well-planned-out schedule. This is a wonderful fantasy that everyone wants, right? That leading up to con, everything's good and go. Yeah. But then there's a thing called procrastination. I'll tell a joke about it later. Yeah, that's a procrastination joke. If you didn't get it, I'll wait till tomorrow. But don't let procrastination bring over its friend, distraction. Distraction is like fan service for your life. It doesn't add any value to your plot line. It might take away from what you've already accomplished. Like, hey, I know you're on an important quest to save the world and everything, but you want to go to the beach? And we can maybe cosplay at next month's con. Or see it now on Patreon. The last limitation to making your costume is skill. With no money or time, you can still succeed. You have enough skill. But if you're like me and have the sewing skills of Daredevil, you're going to learn all about Amazon Prime.
Hey.
I'm not talking about Wonder Woman, although she does qualify for lots of shipping. There's a level of jokes here. It's going to be about this for the rest of the show. So for group cosplay, you want to gather all your friends, figure out logistics. First, you want to turn on the bat signal, see who's going to the con, and ask if anyone's staying at the hotel already. And there's always that one friend who's like, I don't have any money, but can I crash on the floor in exchange for something? Well, yeah, do you have a Charizard or a trash can? And somebody's going to assign, coordinate different cosplays, so you usually want to match the characters to individual personalities. Like a classic group cosplay is the Pokemon Evolutions. So like, for my fiery passion for cosplay, I'll be Flareon, and you're so energetic you make a great Jolteon. And Steve, thank me Lord, you're Vaporeon. I talk about vaping all day anyway. So why do we go to these conventions and cosplay? Well, it's a chance to meet others who share our fandoms, right? I say chance because the whole socially awkward thing. I don't know if you can tell, I'm not about socially awkward as a Dragon Ball fight is long. Takes like 3 episodes to just say hi. Yeah. So many con goers are also socially awkward. Kind of goes to the whole nerd geek territory. So as a con culture, we're pretty accepting of it. I mean, we even accept normies now. And hopefully some of them will accept us soon, you know, unlike some of our parents. 33, Mom, it's not a phase. And stay out of the basement. I pay rent. We're also Midwesterners, so when we meet strangers, it's a polite exchange of like Minnesota nice pleasantries, followed by a game of disengaged chicken. So, we need some water here, but this is what I like to call the conversation. Con, because it can event. I'm just gonna slip my water as you all silently judge me. I get it. So first you see someone cross the room and catches your eye, maybe it's their cosplay, maybe it's a funny t-shirt, or maybe you see them on Patreon. The next, remember that compliments open social doors, so generally find something you like about that person. Or if all else fails, just ask for a picture together. Although that assumes they're wearing a costume, or things just got next level awkward. So then you want to get your picture together and smoothly operate your cell phone camera with one hand, and thankfully most of those geeks have years of experience operating technology one-handed. That's true. So then ask if they have social media and if they want to tag the photo, and Instagram is the gold standard these days, or Facebook if you're feeling friendly, or Snapchat if you're feeling more than friendly. We're gonna skip the next joke. Any gamers here?
Hey!
All right. So another reason I go to cons is to meet fellow gamers. I don't really hang out with my high school or college friends much anymore. As we got older, they started playing these new games like Spouse 1.0 and Children 2.5. Also known as the No Time for Fun expansion pack.
Where's the half?
And socializing with coworkers is its own struggle. Most coworkers of mine are not gamers. If they are, they hide it. And not exactly the common trope of jocks versus nerds, but sales versus tech support comes really close. Guess which one I am. But Concourse only advertises gamers. It's usually through t-shirts with gaming references or cosplays of their main characters, like roll-up gear. Or being in the game room for the entire con. I love it. It's just hundreds of gamers all together in one place. It's like being in a real-life Fortnite lobby. But with more skins and less racism. So unlike the conversation, gamers have a more direct conversation method, and they're not trying to be rude or offensive, they're just trying to be more efficient with their time. It's like power gaming to get good at their socializing per second, or SPS stats. So the first question they're going to ask you is like, what type of games do you play? And this is to see if we're even in the same ballpark. It also determines if they're a civilized PC gamer or a savage console gaming salt miner. All right, that's that kind of good. So second questions, we'll see if you stay with me throughout this. Socially or competitively? Now socially is just for fun with friends, and competitive is ranked against the world. It also separates the true gamers from the filthy casuals. Less clapping, okay. So next question is, what do you main? And for you casuals and non-gamers, which might as well be the same thing, right? Ah, the gamers still laughing. All right, we got it. A main is your primary role or character in the game. And so for casuals and non-gamers, if a competitive gamer ever asks you this question, you don't know, just say feeder. They'll know what you mean. Thanks for explaining your friends. They got casuals, guys. So I know I lost some of you non-gamers and casuals on that last set, so full disclosure, I'm technically a competitive player, but after years playing League of Legends competitively, this year I did my 10 professional games, which are used to get you in your initial rank, and so the window pops up. Congratulations, you've been promoted to Bronze 5, which is currently the lowest possible rank. So what I'm trying to say is I'm a competitive gamer, like Trump was presidential. Technically, we're both still playing the game, but we're surrounded by the absolute worst players. How are we doing on time? What time is it? See if I can skip the check for the next one. Was it? 11. All right, we'll do this with that. So, like I said, this cosplay is from League of Legends. Roll off. I've got the beer helmet over that goes with it too. It's, League of Legends is the world's most popular e-sport. That's right, it's not just a video game anymore. These are electronic sports or e-sports. They have live games now on channels like ESPN and Big Ten Network. You can even get esports scholarships to some pretty nice colleges. And so your students still living at home, if you get grief from your parents for gaming instead of studying, just tell them you're working on a scholarship. And you're out of pizza rolls. So, and what is League of Legends? It's the world's most popular multiplayer computer game. There's about 100 million active users every month. In perspective, that's about 1% of the world's population, which is also the same percentage of non-toxic players in the League community.
Oh, hey.
It's classified as a multiplayer online battle arena, or MOBA. And it's a team of 5 versus another team of 5 on a set map, and the map has a base on either side with paths connecting them through dangerous jungle terrain. And the goal is to destroy the enemy team's nexus, which is also the iPhone's business plan. Nerd joke. All right, so there's a ridiculously large pool of champions to choose from. Currently there's 141 champions in the game that you can play, and a new champion is added every couple of months, along with game balancing nerfs and buffs every 2 weeks. So mastering every champion in the game is like trying to catch up on an anime, but for every episode you watch, another comes out. It's kind of like playing anime whack-a-mole. I mean, not to be confused with the other type of anime whacking, that's another 18+ panel.
That's different folder.
That's the next page. Is there any anime fans here? Just wondering. Kind of a little bit, maybe. Okay.
I've seen a few.
So, as an anime fan, I've always loved the mechas, you know, the giant robots. I've always wondered, why do they have to be anatomically correct? And why do humans? Especially why, like, super muscular or overly curvy humans? Like, what was that kind of conversation like between the engineers? Like, sir, does this 300-foot tall robot really need boobs? And why are they triple G cups? Seems dangerously top heavy. Like, how do you even get that far in the process? Like, shouldn't they said something in the design? Like, well, how should we build this one? Well, I think we should go with the titanium hydrogen infused carbon core. Ah, yes, the thick model. And so the answer for this from the anime community is fan service. And fan service is using suggestive visuals to reward viewership. And it's featured in series like Sword Art Online, 7 Deadly Sins, and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Don't tell me I'm the only one who claps to Rainbow Dash. Clap, clap, clap. My keyboard just got 20% more sticky. There's some grunts for the audience. All right. So most genres now have a dedicated channel or streaming service, but what if they all used fan service the way the anime does? Like the History Channel, like everyone's favorite show, Ancient Aliens. Like, but it's the same show, but anytime they mention probing, the late 70s R&B riff starts playing, the narration slows down, gets a little deeper, making it sound like a poorly written fanfic or a well-written hentai. So one game, some big news this week is Pokemon. Any Pokemon fans here? Pokemon, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee, Pokemon Go. All right. So one thing I've liked about Pokemon, it's always been about forced nerd socializations, because you couldn't complete the Pokedex solo. You had to play and trade with others, or if you were a friendless nerd like me, you'd buy 2 games and play with yourself. Now, I played with myself a lot as a teenager. I also played Pokemon. My basic philosophy is continue to Pokemon Go, and you make friends at planned events like Daisho Con or popular occasions on Community Day. But I think you can go beyond friendship. I think you can use Pokemon Go as a dating app. I can start off in a traditional way IRL. If you see someone clearly playing on their phone, you know what it looks like. If take a nice normal thing like, hey, are you in Team Mystic? Any Mystics here? My team?
Yes.
Woo! All right. You can start with a normal line like that, or you could be daring and try a Pokemon-based pickup line.
No.
Oh, God.
Page dramatically.
Abort.
Do you like ghost type Pokemon? Ditto. It's an 80s movie reference. Did you just use Tail Whip? Because that ass is leaving me defenseless. What about my Effins into an Arbok? My Onyx is trying to use Harden, but you already made it use Alt's PP. I'm tired of Marowak again. Want a Cubo? My Geodude would like to explore your rock tunnel? This is going to keep going downhill. If you make my Bellsprout, I'll ring your victory bell. I could paralyze you with my licky tongue, and I don't need to use Flash to find your Clefairy. Do you like to slow, bro? That's when I give your shelter the Slowpoke. If you let me ride on you, I'll give you a horn drill. And I'd ride you like a bike down Route 17. Double slap me with your Jigglypuffs, then I'll pound your Wigglytuff. I'll hydro pump until you squirtle. Are you in Team Rocket because I want to blast off in you?
No.
Can I empty my ball pouch in your Safari Zone? If you evolve my Weedle, I'll Beedrill until I string shot. If Arbok is Cobra backwards, where do you want me to muck? In your mouth? Yeah, finally, my 2 Diglets and I were wondering if you've ever been Jump Trio. And that's what I said. Thanks for everybody. Next up, we've got the hilarious Dustin Ellringer with his own brand of funny jokes. Woo! Let's give it up for Peter.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Not bad.
I was expecting some enthusiasm.
Hey!
Alright. I noticed we got some Naruto fans in the crowd. I have like 4 Naruto tattoos.
Where are they?
We'll get there. I will just randomly start taking off pieces of clothing and hucking them to the side. See one? Yeah, all right. 18 plus. So I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about myself. I like to do stand-up comedy. I've been doing it for a while now. Now when the Pokemon craze started, anybody here play Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Pretty popular game. We were at an open mic, and a good comic friend of mine, he's a bit of a hillbilly. He said, I need a topic. Someone shout out a topic, and a very enthusiastic girl in the front went, Pokemon Go! And he went, I don't want to talk about that. Give me something else. And I'm a fucking dick, so I was like, Pokemon Go! And he was like, all right, fine. Someone tell me about Pokemon Go. And she went, oh my god. So you take these little balls and you trap animals, and then you make them fight other little animals. And he went, how in the fuck is that any different than what Micheal Vick was up to? My Harley's in the crowd. She's She told me I belong under a street light where somewhere sad and lonely. She told me I look like I belong somewhere like that. Kind of fucked that joke up. Don't worry, we're gonna recover. We were hanging out with our friend Eric, and I'm not sure how he got the buck spray on his wine, but she looked up and she tried to say something romantic, something cute. And in the background, I heard Eric go. He'd spilled wine on his arm, and he was trying to recuperate, and he went, "My arm wine smells like bug spray."
It tasted like bug spray.
Eric's a good guy.
I didn't even use bug spray. That was what was so
extremely concerning, bud. Like, you shouldn't taste like things you don't use. If somebody starts nibbling on me and goes, "You taste like cocoa butter," I'm gonna be like, "That is concerning." I don't use cocoa butter. I do exfoliate. Anybody like Star Trek in the crowd? So, you know that Star Trek online game? It's big, massive world. You pick your own ship and your crew and fly around space. And I got these two brothers. They like to play it, and they got this inflated sense of ego at this point. This is brother number one. If I'm anybody, I'm like Kirk. I'm a really good captain. I take charge, and I get the job done. Mind you, this is a three-dimensional game. He can go any direction, and he bumped into another fucking ship while he's telling me how good he is. Look, it's like a three-dimensional parked car. Wham! And it's also a Romulan warbird. So it's like it's a small Death Star just drifting in space. He bumps it, and then he starts to button it. He goes, "Wah!" And he just button mashes. Have you ever seen a ship in Star Trek just spaz out? There's like 4 different lasers shooting out little balls in different directions until the ship starts on fire and just falls into a planet's orbit. And then he hails it, and they're like, "Hey, we're mad at you." And he pushes another button, they're like, "We're sorry." And he was like, just like Kirk. Meanwhile, brother number two. You got these avatars, so you go down a planet and save the planet somehow. I don't know. He's in an ancient library looking at books, and this nerdy-looking Vulcan guy comes up and says, "Excuse me, sir, you're not allowed to be here." And he went, "Wow!" And he punched that fucker in the face. And the dude, he sprawled out, and I was like, "Man, he just knocked that guy out." And the other brother went, "Yeah, you know what's really screwed up is you can't knock people out in this game. That dude's dead." I was like, "What the fuck, no?" I'm pretty sure Picard never punched anybody to death. Like, not once. And he's like, trying to save his planet. No. Good excuse. Notice the same guy, when him and his girlfriend broke up, I tried to mediate. And she was like, "Would you try to get my pressure cooker back from him?" And I was like, can she have her pressure cooker back? And he said, "Sure, I'll look around for it." And about 30 minutes later, he said, "It's come to my attention, I don't know what a pressure cooker is." I got kids. Anybody got kids here?
Not yet.
Oof. All right, well, this may or may not strike home with you. Anybody like those DC animated movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know what those were. So me and my kid were sitting down on Netflix, and I said, "What do you want to watch, buddy?" He's a 5-year-old. And he goes, "I want to watch Batman Under the Red Hood." Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sitting down with Junior, and we're watching the movie, and the Black Mask is breaking the Joker out of jail. He just explained to him what he wanted. "So, here's what I want you to do for me. I think you're the guy. What do you think?" And the Joker goes, Can I have a glass of water?" And they hand it to him, and he swirls it, and then breaks it on a table and stabs the guy in the jaw, and grabs the guy and goes, "Bang, bang, bang!" Shoots the other 3 henchmen in the room and goes, "I'm gonna need something to wear." At which point my 5-year-old looks at me and goes, "Those guys are dead, huh, Dad?" Oh, it gets that father of the guy in the back of a tanker truck with other people, and he's dumping gas on him. And he's like, don't worry, I'm gonna fix your plan. I'm gonna get the Red Hood. When I light you on fire, Batman, what are the Red Hood's gonna show up? Boom! Problem solved. The guy's like, I don't want you to light me on fire. And he's like, well, that's too bad. And my kid goes, he's not gonna light those guys on fire, is he, Dad? And I was like, no, of course not, buddy. Holy shit, DC! He looks like he's gonna light him on fire! Batman saved the day, good grief. Good grief. Same kid, again, like, it's weird. There's this generational thing. Sometimes your kids will be in the same very things that you are, but you forget that they may not have been introduced to it in the same fashion that you were. For instance, I grew up watching the Star Wars movies. My son, he grew up watching Clone Wars. I did not pick up on this. So I'm playing The Force Unleashed, and I'm fighting Darth Vader, and I'm handing him an ass whooping. And I was like taking Anakin, and my now 7-year-old looked at me and went, oh, he's got the same name as Anakin Skywalker. And I went, oh no. No, he doesn't. It's the same guy. And he looked up at me and he went, what happened? So I think, like, let's watch that third movie. That ought to put it into context. I forget how much it doesn't. It just looks like Anakin goes fucking nanners after a bad day at the office. Now there's the scene where the little kids are like, is that you, Anakin? And he turns on the fucking lightsaber. And then the next time you see him, the kids are laying on the ground, and my 7-year-old looks up at me and he goes, those kids aren't getting back up, huh, Dad? Gonna get that Father of the Year award. I've noticed that I do a variety of a bit of comedy here, and I noticed that people at the cons, they really enjoy their nerd-centric comedy. They you know, they like a little butt stuff jokes here and there with Naruto and the likes. My son, we decided we were gonna watch Baymax, you know, Big Hero 6, and he said, Daddy, I want to watch that movie with you, but it makes me very sad because the robot dies at the end. And I thought, bitch, I'm also through Bambi. I can handle this. You know who the other is? Shit. I'm a pussy. So he fell asleep and I'm crying because I'm like, no! Oh, not Huggy the robot! But like, surprise, like, he brings the robot back, right? So like, I'm a little upset. And I'm like, hey buddy, when did you know the robot comes back to life? And he was like, yeah, Dad. What's it like to watch one of your heroes die? He's a mean kid. I'm kidding, he's amazing. Can I tell you guys a dirty joke?
Yes. Always.
I should have known this is the same community that embraces hentai. That's the thing about going to an anime convention. Take a good look around. There's a like 90% chance that someone sitting in your proximity is into tentacle rape. That usually lands better. Literally at like the last con, there were like 3 people in the crowd that were like, I'm one of them.
More than 3, it's like a whole row.
Yeah! I just didn't want to make the people who didn't laugh like feel uncomfortable. Like, oh, maybe I'm just not giving it a chance. You're just... On top of it, and I haven't brought myself to Google it yet, there's one guy who, like, he's the dark lord of, like, hentai porn, was like, this one guy goes, Shat Man.
No.
That's what you need. And the one guy went, ho, 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 ho. Jesus, you just turned like, Darth Vader was like, no, thank you. Someday I'm gonna have to Google that. So, Maggie, my Harley there, one day she's telling me about some of her favorite characters, and I noticed this really weird pattern. She's like, oh my god, I just thought Malfoy from Harry Potter was like, he is just the cutest. And I was like, who'd you like from Game of Thrones? And she's like, I don't know. It's a toss-up between Joffrey and Ramsay. I was like, who else are you into? She's like, I really liked Gaara and Naruto before it was like mental rehabilitation. When he was still all like, he's gonna squish my problems away. And I'm like, alright, so, who Uncle Bad touched you, Tom Riddle? Show me on The Hobbit where you got touched. It's like I thought we were gonna get a little extra time because they had an emergency.
Yeah, we lost our first half hour.
Oh, okay. Let me talk to the panelists
Okay.
outside, and then
Yeah.
also.
I'll also try to wrap it up. Thank you.
Okay, I'm really sorry about that.
No problem. Well, just in case, I'll try to speed this up in case I don't get any more time. I got this. My buddy Deadpool, he's got this problem. Him and Eric, they spend too much time at the cons and they lose the ability to form sentences. So I left them alone for too long, and I said, hey, we're going back inside. Let's all round up. And this is what I got back. No, go inside. Hot inside. Anger. Anger. Shoes hurt. Slippers, please. Bird. Birds go flap flap. Anger. Anger. It's the same guy, like he says these things that you think are really wise and it's spiteful. And he's just the greatest Deadpool, but he'll look you square in the eye and he'll say, you know what they say? Never give a jellyfish a belly rub. You know what they say? You shave a cat, they'll be angry with you. You know what they say? You punch a beaver, have a shoebox ready. Here's a little fucking secret for you. He makes that shit up on the spot. I have seen so many people go, you should have a shoebox ready. No, I wisdom there. You know what they say? You put a dog in a suit, it won't make him a gentleman. You know what they say? If you're gonna put your tongue in a peanut butter jar, it should be the whole tongue. It'll be messy and worth it. I don't even think the one was that funny, but I was like, I know that he made it up on the spot at that point. I was like, I'll write it down anyway. Fucking maniac. You know what they say? Give a dog a bone, he'll eat it. Give a dog tools, and he'll build a boat to go sailing. This is the same guy who just got excited and he sent me a text message that said, I'm trading in my adult card. I said, what does that mean? Oh, yes. I'm downgrading to the man-child premium plan. It has more fun and less responsibilities. I mean, there are more consequences, but there's a feature to ignore them. And if you add in an I don't give a fuck policy, it pretty much knows out the whole thing. Anger. I'm gonna leave you on just a couple more here so we don't take too long from the other panel. I've got this uncanny ability to recognize the celebrity when I'm watching like a cartoon or something. And we were watching Justice League Unlimited. There's a bunch of celebrities, and one of my friends says, "Hey, who's the voice of this guy here, the character Orion?" And I went, "Well, that's Ron Perlman." And he went, "Wow. Who's our local senator?" And I was like, "Oh, some fucking asshole." I should probably pay attention to that. I got a Full Metal Alchemist tattoo. I got a lot of nerd-inspired tattoos. I got Itachi's eyes on my back. I got Naruto's eyes right here. I got the Shinobi symbol.
Nice.
And I've also got this Full Metal Alchemist, and my aunt looked at it and she went, "Is that a serpent around a crucifix?" And I went, "Well, yeah, but you see, Linda, it represents the laws of legal of equal exchange. Nothing in life is given without." And she's like, "Have fun explaining that to Jesus in hell." My family's very Catholic, and they all think I'm fucking weird. And don't even argue with that. I'm gonna leave you on this. I can be a bitter, vindictive person. My last ex did me wrong. And you ever think to yourself, I'm gonna do something to ruin that person's life, but at some point you figure out that you can't do anything to do that? Here's an example. I was like, I'm gonna do something mean to her car, and a mutual friend was like, "Oh, that car's fucked, you can." Nothing you can do to that car. I was like, "Oh, alright." So I said, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna get you fired from your job. And it turned out she'd already been fired from her job because she sucked at it. So I decided I was gonna release rats into her house, only to discover that she already had rats, and they were way bigger than the rats that I had. I then called her out on that, and she said, "Hey man, we're just all trying to raise our rats the best we can." "Oh, I've got 10 minutes. Do we want a little more?"
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna pull some stuff a little less nerdy, but just about my personal life. I fixed phones at Best Buy. That's what I used to do. Day 2 on the job, I met Maureen. Maureen came in and she said, "You're gonna get me a new phone. All right, I'm gonna ruin your life." And I was like, "Easy there. My life's kind of fucked up." And she went, "I know people from the Mayo Clinic." And I was like, "I don't have health care. Not even kind of." She said, and I quote, "I'm serious. I know people from the Mayo Clinic." I said, "I am 35. I live in my parents' basement. Both of my son's mothers hate me. I drove a Chevy Aveo into work today from 2006. What are you gonna do?" Damn, I thought, normally that laugh, most people are like, "Oh, we don't want to hear about your sad life. That's just a bummer." So more nerd topics, What brings you to con? What is your favorite thing about con?
Maggie.
She gets nerds.
What's that?
Meeting other nerds.
Meeting other nerds, isn't that? It's magical. I'll give you an example. Last night, Super Mario, who had some sort of boombox speaker playing the actual theme song from the second game, just ran up and he was like, "It's me, Mario!" And then he gave me a gold coin made out of chocolate and he ran away.
I love him.
Like, and I dress like the Joker. I think it's cool. But I can't imagine somebody that's like, "I'm gonna dress like something that's just fucking hilarious and then run around and spread happiness." Yeah, I saw him again and I was really hungry and I was just so, another one? What are some of your favorite cosplays that you have ever seen? Oh.
Yours.
Me? Oh, thank you. The Enchantress yesterday was pretty cool.
Which one? The dirty one or the
dirty
like
one.
headdress? Ooh, I like the dirty one. I have a crush on her. Like, I feel like it would be kind of cool to be afraid of the person that I'm sleeping with. Which has only happened like 4 or 5 times in my life. I dated a girl who ran me over with a car once, and I was like, lovers quarrels. You know what really messed up about that? I got sucked under an HHR. My dad was pulling in the driveway. I saw me got run over by a car. Now at this point it was winter, so I got pushed down into the sill, which is the only thing that stopped me from getting seriously hurt. There was a fucking crippled snow angel in the driveway of my body. And my dad walked up to me afterwards. I'm limping. She's driven away, and he goes, "I'm gonna take the dog for a walk." I think she's been impressed. Yeah, I know. All right, Dad. I'm gonna go cry in the shower. I tried to date dating app once, and one of my cosplay pictures made it on there, and a girl started off her interaction with me with, so, I see you like to cosplay as the Joker. That's probably a red flag, huh? Yeah, probably. Are you into fried chicken? I am not a titan of finance. Do you like the dollar menu? What? What's your favorite thing to do at con besides meet nerds? Go, you next to Julia.
This is my first con.
This is your first con.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite experience so far?
I don't know, Julia TR showing me to all her nerd friends.
I show her all.
Yeah, I get shown off. That's fun.
What are you, a show pony?
Her.
She's like, oh my god, this is this human being that I bought. It's not slavery, it's different. That's cool. That's cool. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I had a really great time here tonight. I have no concept of time, so when she said 10 minutes, I realized I have no idea. I could just wait for her to come in. 5. I got 4, 3. She used fingers and I still got it wrong. She's like, 5?
Get it together.
You want to know why? Because I got a GED. You know why? I got kicked out of so many high schools that I got to a car once and I was like, well, where are we going next, Mom? And she was like, haha, to get a GED. Because you're going to be 18 soon and your father and I are booting you out of this fucking house and you're going to have an education when you do it. That'll learn you. Life got real. I joined the Army. I had to get away from drugs. I will tell you this, that was a poor decision. I hadn't really thought it through. I need to get away from drugs. I need to straighten out my life. Take 2 of basic training. There's a big fucking man knelt beside me, and he looked into my eyes and he went, I swear to God, if you don't start doing those push-ups correctly, I'm gonna skull fuck the shit out of you, boy. And at this point I was like, man, I didn't even think about going to rehab. I should have kept that card on the table. Yeah, it was scary. It's good times though, good times. I just had someone who was like, oh, you were in the Army? Did they put you in a gas chamber too? And I was like, yeah, that's something that they do to people. I didn't realize it till you got there. Here's the fun part too. I was like, I don't like this anymore. I'm gonna go home. My recruiter said I can leave anytime I want to. Yeah, turns out that's not fucking true. And my friend convinced me, said, don't go do anything crazy. Just wait for someone else to do it. Long story short, a girl went and told the drill sergeant, I want to go home. And he said, come on up here and tell me about it in front of all the other privates. And he said, tell me what you do. I don't want to be in the Army anymore. It doesn't matter what you want, I own your fucking soul. You signed away on the dotted line, and she went, I don't want to be here. So she started crying, and he was like, oh, I still crying at the Army. Everybody run around the building until Private Lowry stops fucking crying. 3 hours later, she didn't quit crying, but somebody passed out and threw up. I saw a dude hiding in a bush. Thank you for your service. Thanks everybody so much for coming. Oh, we appreciate you guys coming and waiting with the medical emergencies and stuff. Seriously, if you're gonna do drugs at the rave, know your limit. Moderation is key. Don't take them all at once. One at a time.
What fun is that?
I wish I had theme music to go out on, like Stone Cold Steve Austin's or maybe The Rock, and then I would just take credit for it. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Oh, that's mine. I made that in my basement.
So yeah, again, if you want to see more of us, give good feedback to the con, request us for other cons, follow us on social medias. I'm Peter the Great MN on literally everything. You want to shout out yours?
I am Dustin Ellringer on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. DGhostMe86 is also a tag that I use. Dustin Ellringer, ELLRINGER, like Ellringer.
All right, thanks again for coming. Have a good night.
How do I stop it? This one?
Yeah.